Ever wonder why you buy stuff you don't really need? Or, why the word free just seems to have this magnetic pull? We all like to think we're rational, that we make these super logical choices. But what if I told you that most of our decisions are, well, systematically and even predictably irrational? Today, we're going to dive into the incredible work of behavioral economist Dan Ariely and uncover the hidden forces that are secretly shaping pretty much all of our choices.
Okay, so let's put this to the test right away with a quick puzzle. Just imagine for a second you're looking at subscription options for The Economist magazine. Take a look. Which one of these just screams best deal to you? So, you've got three options. An internet-only subscription for $59, a print-only for $125, and then a print and internet combo for, wait for it, also $125. Kind of weird, right? I mean, why would anyone on Earth choose the print-only option when the combo deal is the exact same price? Well, you're not alone in thinking that. When Dan Ariely showed this to his students at MIT, a huge 84% of them went for the combo deal. It just feels like a complete no-brainer. You're basically getting the internet part for free. But this is where it gets really interesting. So Ariely ran the experiment again, but this time he took out that weird middle option. The print-only subscription that nobody in their right mind was choosing anyway. So now the choice was simple: the cheap internet-only option or the more expensive combo. And with only two options on the table, the results did a complete 180. All of a sudden, 68% of the students chose the cheaper internet-only option. Now think about that. Nothing about the first or third choice actually changed, but just by removing that one seemingly useless option, people's behavior totally flipped. So what on earth is going on here? And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of Ariely's work. See, we humans, we don't really have some kind of internal value meter that tells us what things are worth. Instead, we figure out value by comparing things to each other. That print-only option, it wasn't useless at all. It was a decoy. And that brings us to our very first hidden force, what's known as the decoy effect. And let me tell you, it is a seriously powerful tool that marketers use all the time to nudge us toward a specific choice, usually without us having any clue it's even happening. So back to the Economist example. That print-only subscription was the decoy. It was obviously a worse deal than the print and internet option. But its job wasn't to be chosen. Its job was to make that combo deal look like an amazing value when compared to just the internet-only option. And this decoy effect, it pops up absolutely everywhere. For example, say you're out hunting for a new house. Your real estate agent shows you a sleek, modern house, and then two old-school colonial houses. They're all about the same price, but one of the colonials, our decoy, needs a brand new roof. So what does your brain do? Well, it immediately tries to simplify the problem. Trying to compare the modern house to the colonial ones, that's kind of hard, right? It's like comparing apples and oranges. But comparing the two colonial houses? Oh, that's easy. The one with the good roof is obviously better. And just like that, because it was so easy to compare, the good colonial suddenly feels like the best overall choice of the three. All right, next up, a force so incredibly powerful, it can just make us throw all logic right out the window. The insane allure of free. And we're not just talking about a really low price here. The concept of zero, of getting something for nothing, is in a whole other league. Check out this other experiment. Researchers gave people a choice. You can have a fancy, high-end Lindt truffle for 15 cents, or you can have a standard Hershey's Kiss for just 1 single cent. It's a pretty simple cost-benefit decision. And, as you'd expect, the results were perfectly rational. Almost 3/4 of people, 73%, thought, yeah, that high-quality truffle is totally worth the extra 14 cents, and they went for the Lindt. A totally logical choice. But then, the researchers dropped the price of each chocolate by just 1 penny. That's it, so the price difference between them was still exactly 14 cents. But the only real change was that now, the Hershey's Kiss was totally, completely free. And would you look at that, a complete reversal. Now a whopping 69% of people grabbed the Hershey's Kiss. All that rational calculation just flew out the window, completely steamrolled by the emotional pull of getting something for nothing. So what this really shows us is that free isn't just another price point. It's an emotional hot button. The fear we have of losing out on a free thing is way more powerful than our rational desire to get the actual best deal.
Now, our irrationality doesn't just stop with money. Oh, no. It also shapes our relationships. Ariely argues that we live in two completely separate worlds, and each one has its own set of rules. You've got the social world, and you've got the market world. And trust me, you do not want to mix them up.
To really get the difference, just picture this. You're at your mother-in-law's house, you've just finished a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner, and then you stand up, pull out your wallet, and ask her how much you owe her for the meal. It's just a cringeworthy thought, right? That's because it completely shatters the rules of the social world.
See, the world of social norms is all warm and fuzzy. It's based on community and trust and this idea of long-term give and take. You help a friend move, you don't expect them to pay you right then and there. But the world of market norms, that's sharp-edged and transactional. It's all about wages, prices, and rents. You get what you pay for, and the payments are expected to be prompt.
And here is the big flashing warning sign. Once you introduce market norms into a social relationship, it is almost impossible to go back. If you pay your friend for helping you move, you've just changed the whole dynamic. It's not about friendship anymore. It's a transaction. And that can just crowd out all the goodwill that was there before.
Okay, so we're guided by relativity, we're totally seduced by the word free, and we're constantly juggling these two different sets of social rules. It might sound a little hopeless, but Ariely's work isn't just about pointing out all our flaws. It's about showing us how we can actually master them.
So here are 3 key steps you can take. First, just become aware of these tendencies. Seriously, just knowing that the decoy effect exists makes you way less likely to fall for it. Second, start questioning your habits. Like, why do you always buy that same expensive coffee every morning? Was that a conscious choice, or did it just kind of happen one day? And third, and this is a big one, pay extra attention to your first decisions in a new situation, because they often set what's called an anchor that can influence all your future choices for years to come.
And that really brings us to the most powerful idea in all of this. Our irrationality isn't just random, it's predictable. And because we can predict it, we can anticipate it. We can design systems, create rules for ourselves, and build habits that actually protect us from our own flawed instincts.
And this leaves us with a really fascinating, maybe even slightly unsettling question to think about. If so many of our habits and our preferences are built on these initial, often totally arbitrary decisions, well, what does that really say about who we are? Maybe by examining those first anchors, we can open ourselves up to brand new decisions and whole new opportunities.